So do you guys think that Sony and Bungie over the last couple of weeks have maybe sat around and wondered if they made the right decision? Do you think after the last week with the PlayStation State of Play, Summer Games Fest, and even the Xbox conference, they're wondering if they backed the right horse? Because those chats across all three of those game conferences were loaded with Destiny players screaming, "We want Destiny 3." And then at the exact same time, Marathon is experiencing a free week, and it's going just as horribly as you thought it would for a Bungie project. So, you think that they're questioning about it? Asking themselves, did we back the right horse, guys? Well, kick the intro and let's get into it.
Here's the guy there just in the nick of time. What does that make us? Big damn heroes, sir. Ain't we just? Run!
Get to the chopper!
The rendezvous is 10 to 12 miles away. You think the chopper's gonna wait?
Dylan, we make a stand now. There will be nobody left to go to the chopper.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Chopper, aka Ragged, and we're back with another video, and we're questioning Sony's decision making as well as Bungie's, because let's be honest, both of them have become very synonymous of late of making really stupid decisions. And Destiny and Marathon might go down as another one in the end, because as I said, three conferences, chat smashed full of players screaming for Destiny 3. We have major news organizations, we have major YouTubers and streamers covering it, and we have the voice actors calling for it, and nobody's talking about Marathon. Well, except for all the failures and faults they've just had, guys, and there has been a lot, because as I said in the intro, they had a free week, and it went horrible. What am I talking about? Well, check it out. So, from Mr. Paul Tassi over at Forbes, he writes, Marathon is both Bungie's main game and Sony's biggest live service project for the foreseeable future now that Destiny 2 is about to end with the June 9th update. So last Tuesday, Bungie launched Marathon Season 2 and, of course, at the same time, made the game free for a week to all players looking to try it out. Now, the weekend is over, and while there were a few days left in the test given the extension of the free week to 10 days, we're obviously going to be past the peaks, and a lot has happened, and not just in terms of player count watching, though that does paint a picture. So a few things have gone down that have made Marathon Season 2 release a bit rough, to say the least. It says Marathon Season 2 launched with about 10 hours of server problems, first disconnected games, eventually servers being taken offline until 11 p.m. on release day, which, even for Bungie and a few of its botched Destiny releases, was significant and extra poorly timed. Then it says the arrival of the nighttime version of Dire Marsh was received well, a spookier version of the map that was truly dark, and certainly changed gameplay without the need for a brand new map. Paul, I guess, really felt it was dark because he felt the need to say it twice. And then he puts, the addition of the new Stat Point Cradle system allowed newer, more casual players to start sinking points into meaningful upgrades almost immediately, including key things like heat reduction. There was also significant positive changes to the UI from Season 1. Then he writes, New Runner Sentinel launched with little fanfare, but the class seems more well suited for the not yet live cryo map, so analysis isn't yet complete. However, a few things made the season launch spiral rather quickly. You don't say. First, it became clear that giving some of the most devoted players instant purple kits was not exactly a great move for the seasonal launch balance. Then, half a dozen blue kits were given out to everyone who tried and failed to play on launch day due to server issues. These two things negated what is the most important part of an extraction shooter seasonal wipe, putting everyone on the same playing field. And quickly, that just didn't happen, and of course things got worse from there. Namely, it immediately became apparent that Night Dire Marsh was more or less just a PvE mode. It had practically no rooks to battle the singular team on the map, and the ones that were there were barely a threat and more like pets or people you could adopt. But through a relatively straightforward puzzle enemy run, players had access to some of the best loot in the game, a slew of golds and purples, and that of course translated into players being able to run killer kits almost instantly and blitz through the new Cradle Point system by dismantling tons of valuable gear. It hasn't even been a week and the biggest grinders are already maxed out. Bungie's response to this was then to nerf the loot from Night Dire Marsh and those good chests and of course to slow down Cradle progression by 25%. But as always, Bungie just two forward, one back. The problem there, of course, is that the hardest core players already got all this stuff. And now the player base that was not sprinting through the first few days is even further behind with slower progression. Some are even calling for a full-on second wipe, which is totally implausible, but the point stands that the ship has sailed, and this Season 2 launch, which put everyone on the same playing field for maybe 2 hours, was of course mishandled. Then a look at player count. It's important to take into consideration that this is the game's second season launch, a free week for anyone to show up, and a game that has a ratio of 2-to-1 players on Steam versus console. So that combination equaled a steep concurrent count of 40,000, under half of the 88K of the game's initial launch. This did not increase over the weekend, with Friday declining from Thursday and the numbers remaining flat from there. So the last few days will dip even lower. Marathon is about to simultaneously face the end of a free week when many players will depart, but namely tomorrow when Destiny 2's final update launches. Many Marathon players are from the Destiny 2 community, and even those who have put the game down for a while will return, putting a further dent in the season. And honestly, who knows if they'll return from there. So, as you can see, things went from bad to worse for the game. Server issues, loot issues, player retention issues. But there's another issue that we haven't talked about yet, and that's Marathon's pricing issue, because this one popped up and this one caused some issues too. Players enjoying Bungie's advertised free week of Marathon were offered what appeared to be the deluxe edition of the game for just $14, only to find out that what they really purchased was nothing but a cosmetic bundle. And yet another bump in the road for Bungie, which is betting the farm on Marathon as it widens down its only active title, Destiny 2. To add insult to the injury, the mistake does not appear to be Bungie's fault. You see, the confusion appears to have been caused by the way Sony lists the different versions of the game in the PlayStation Store. When we look at the price for Marathon Deluxe Edition, it shows it's discounted to $42. That's still a nice discount from the $60 price tag, but it's not quite $14. However, once the free trial version of Marathon being offered during the free week was added to the PlayStation Store library, we saw the price on the deluxe version update to be just $14. So what's the deal here? Well, when players add the free trial to their library, PlayStation Store treats it as they're owning the game. So then the players shown the difference in price compared to the base edition as if they had paid full price for it. So the $14 difference, that's really just Sony listing mistake. And guys, this really seems to be a problem for them. I mean, this isn't just Bungie dropping the ball. This is Sony dropping the ball at this point. And we got to be honest, they're both synonymous with doing that lately. Over the last decade, both of these companies are just shitting the bed left and right. They are Amber herding the hell out of this puppy. And once again, do you guys think that Bungie is regretting their decision? Do you think that they are regretting picking Marathon? Because this is just adding up. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And we got to be honest here. If another game, a bigger game, comes out with an extraction shooter mode, they might be screwed. Oh? One did? Really? Call of Duty Modern Warfare's extraction mode, DMZ, has been revealed with an extensive first look. DMZ was first introduced in 2022's Modern Warfare 2 as a beta and a free-to-play mode through Warzone. The mode didn't make as big of a splash as something like Warzone, so it didn't get as much support as one would have imagined. However, the extraction genre has only gotten bigger since then thanks to games like Tarkov and Arc Raiders. The mode will return in Modern Warfare 4 as the game's third mode and will no longer be free to play. The new look closed out Xbox's showcase and looks like a massive step up from the Modern Warfare 2 version with a much more intense, gritty tone. There will also be a ton of new systems such as the ability to drag and revive teammates, dynamic weather, a forward operating base for you to prepare for your missions before deploying, a stealth system, and even a tourniquet, which allows downed players one opportunity to stop the bleeding just enough to fight for a bit longer. So you'll have to find a med kit in order to have a full recovery, but it keeps you from getting knocked out of the fight. So once again, do you think Sony and Bungie are regretting their decision? I got to know, guys. Do you guys think they are? Because I've been asking throughout this entire video, and I got to say, yeah. Because Call of Duty just dropped in extraction mode, and that's going to take players from Marathon. That's going to take players from Arc Raiders and Tarkov and a bunch of other things, but it's also going to put a lot of players into that field. But it's not a big pool to pull from, guys. And that's why I told you this is probably going to be a pond for Bungie by the end of it. And the reality is, I honestly think that at most, Marathon's got maybe 6 months to a year left before this one is closed down. This is getting bad. Season 2's numbers should have been big. They should have been close to what they were supposed to be at the beginning. They should have been back up close to that 80,000 number, which means they would have probably bounced around 160K across the board from consoles and Steam. But instead, you're looking at possibly 50, 60,000 people playing. This isn't a game that can earn back hundreds of millions of dollars that have sunk into it. This isn't a game that's going to recoup its cost. I don't give a damn how many cosmetics they sell. Because the reality is, with all the information, with the losses, with the failures, with the screaming, with the petition for Destiny, with the Destiny fans taking over every video game conference's chat for the last week, with the news covering it, with the streamers covering it, with everybody talking about it, they have to realize they made a mistake. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, how long are they going to take to admit it? Or are they just going to take the initiative and plunge into the ground with this one and just burn and hope it all fades away with time? Because, guys, that's it. That's what I got for you. That's the info right there. Failure, new competition. What the hell are they doing? So in the end, do you guys think they made the wrong decision? Do you think that they should have backed Destiny 3 years ago? Do you think that that money should have gone into Marathon, or did that money should have gone into Destiny 3? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. So that's all I got, guys. So as always, like and a sub go a long way. Leave some comments. Let me hear what you guys think. Let me know if there's any other content or videos that you want me to cover, because I do got some hot button topic ones coming up that are going to get a little spicy. So as always, guys, till the next time, wherever you are in time when you find this, I hope you're having a most amazing time. And I'm really appreciative for all of you guys that sub, comment, watch, just keep regularly tuning in. Thank you, guys. I don't make shit off of this, but I spend a lot of my free time doing it. So it means a lot to me. So till the next one, guys. Later.